Hello, Matt.
Hello, Francine.
How's the week been for you?
Well, it's been a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Not all that much, but I had been thinking about my father since our last session, and coming to terms with that, finally grieving for his death, thinking over how I reacted right after the death, and joining the police force and everything, going through that period again. You know, work's been okay, actually a little bit better there. Still, there's periods where I'll just, I guess the only way to describe it is just shut down. I'll get this feeling in my body, like my chest will just tighten up, my arms will just go limp, and it's almost like I can't do anything. I've tried to keep a log and write some of these things down like you told me to, but I haven't really written everything down. Sometimes I just forget about it. But
have you noticed what triggered those feelings?
Sometimes I do. There was one incident I do remember. Was there was this group of kids that were just goofing around, you know, at near one of the checkouts, and I was keeping an eye on them. Just, you know, they weren't really doing anything out of the ordinary, really. But then all of a sudden, I got this intense fear about my wife, and I just couldn't do anything. I had to go back to the rest area that we have, our little break room. And just get away from everything for a while, because it just like I couldn't deal with it, and I don't know what happened. After a couple minutes, you know, I went back out there, but then the kids were gone. So I guess I was able to calm down after that, and the rest of the day was kind of okay. And there were other times during the week like that, but I don't remember specific things that triggered anything. Okay.
Did you remember to use the self-control techniques we talked about, the stress reduction techniques?
Yes, when I was in the break room, that's where I did that, because I could be away from people, and I was just reduce the things happening around me, and just take the deep, slow breaths, and to try to you know, clear my mind and remove that specific image from my mind.
Okay, great. How's your sleep been?
It's been okay. At least I've been getting a little more sleep, it seems like. I don't wake up in the morning totally exhausted. I have had 2 nights where I did wake up with the nightmare that had been recurring. Sam again, you know, and just waking up with that feeling of, why didn't I stop it? What didn't I do right? Why did it have to happen?
Okay. Did you notice anything during the day that maybe triggered that dream?
Let me think. Oh yeah, that was that day I had written some stuff down, like check. Oh yeah, that was the day that there was one kid that had come in, and he was kind of just hanging around, not really looking at anything. You know, like if you're shopping, you'd be, you know, looking at something, picking things up, looking at it. He was just kind of wandering around, kind of glancing over his shoulder and so forth. And I remember thinking to myself, what's he up to? Why can't I figure out what he's doing? You know, is this something I should be worried about? Is it something I should not worry about? And after a while, he just kind of left the store, so I didn't think about it anymore. And then that night is when I had the nightmare.
Okay. Do you want to tell me about the dream a little bit?
Yeah. I woke up, it must have been about 4:15, something in that time frame. And the first thing I remember is seeing Sam's body in the morgue again on the table. He was laying there. I remember feeling, why did this have to happen? And then I remember the coroner asking me to come over, I guess to identify the body. And then I noticed that Sam was trying to say something. I mean, I saw his lips moving, and I thought I heard something, but I couldn't figure out what it was. You know, just after that is when I woke up and remembered all of this.
Okay. Now, Matt, remember we spoke last time about how it was the perceptions that were there from the experience in the morgue that seemed to get locked in the brain, exactly the way that happened.
Okay.
And so things can trigger it, like the thing that happened at work, can trigger the dream coming up. But the dream are just those older perceptions that are coming up. And what we're going to do here is just process them. In other words, digest them, okay? So let's go back to the actual experience that you had, where you saw his body in the morgue, okay? We started with that last week, and we're going to recheck it again now, okay? All right. So bring the image up to mind.
Okay.
And the words that go along with it that describe your negative feeling last time was, I should have done something. Do they still fit?
Yes.
Okay.
Why didn't I do more? What could I have done?
Okay. And let's hold that in mind. And where do you feel it in your body?
That same feeling, like a tightness and a sensation that goes across the chest and the shoulders, and almost a tingling in my arms.
Okay. So remember, you're just going to follow my fingers with your eyes and let whatever happens happen. Don't try to make anything happen. Okay? So hold it in mind now and follow my fingers. Good. Good. Just notice. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay, blank it out. Take a deep breath. What do you get now?
Well, the scene started to fade away. It wasn't as clear. I started thinking about, I actually started fading into some of the other, the scenes that had gone on in my career at the police force, some of the other times that I'd been called to the morgue. They weren't all really clear, they just kind of ran into one after the other.
Okay.
And that feeling, that sense of why couldn't I have done more kind of went into the feelings I had on those other scenes about collecting information about that homicide, what had happened at that time.
Okay. So just hold that in mind
Okay.
again and just follow. Good. That's it. Good. Good. Blank it out. Take a deep breath. That's it. What do you get now?
There, I started going through some of those homicides, thinking about the ones that, well, it's a couple that Sam and I had worked on together, and thinking that there were some of the ones we had closed out. I started thinking about those, you know, and I started getting a different feeling, one of, you know, that, well, hey, maybe there were some things that had gone right occasionally, that, you know, I kind of thought of Sam and I as a team. You know, the way we had worked together a little bit better at times. You
Great.
know.
Okay, just think of that.
Okay.
Good. Good. Blank it out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
Yeah, I was thinking about kind of time that Sam and I kind of were on a weekend picnic, and kind of hadn't been really talking about shop or anything. You know, kind of talking about our families. You know, they were there. You know, kind of just a nice afternoon.
Great. Great. Okay, just stay with that now. Good. Blank it out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
Well, I kind of had it. I was thinking about the times that picnic, and then went back to feeling good about the times we had worked together. And all of a sudden I got the feeling back to, again, why did it end? You know, what changed all of that? What happened? That, you know, why did Sam have to die?
Okay. Where do you feel that in your body?
In this area, you know, kind of this feeling of squeamishness almost, and tension. I just can't seem to shake.
Just notice it. It's all right. Just notice it. That's it. Good. Good. Blank it out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
Well, the feeling has kind of lessened a little bit, but I'm still on those feelings of, well, what could have gone differently? What is it I didn't do? Why did I let it happen? I mean, I wasn't there for him.
What do you think you could have done?
I don't know. I guess that's part of what I'm feeling about that, is that I didn't have enough information. I mean, we had been working together, you know, a number of other successful cases, but he just didn't let me in on anything.
Okay. So if you had been Sam, what would you have done differently?
Well, I guess what I would have done differently was I would have talked a little bit more about what I was up to. You know, I mean, maybe at least that way, if I had been keeping Sam informed, and if I had gotten into a tight situation, I'm sure that he would have known what was going on. That he would have known what was happening, and he could have stepped in. He could have helped. He could have done something, or at least been there as a backup.
So just think of that. Just think of that. That's it. That's it. Good. Blank it out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
Well, I began feeling that, well, hey, Sam didn't keep me informed. That I started thinking about, well, what could I have done, you know, given what he had told me, and there really wasn't all that much. I mean, I didn't know where where this thing was going to occur. I started thinking about, well, maybe if I had, we could have had a backup, you know, without affecting what was going on. And it could have been closer, and you know, we could have thought out maybe the alternatives that would have gone bad, like they did.
Okay, just think of that. Good. That's it. Good. Blank it out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
Well, it's kind of a mixed feeling. It's one that got kind of a feeling that says, well, maybe I did everything I could do. That I really didn't do anything wrong. And then a sense of sadness that, you know, Sam didn't keep me up to date on what was happening, what he was planning, and that was a mistake. You know, he kind of like paid the ultimate for that.
And whose responsibility was it?
I guess in that case it was Sam's.
Okay.
I mean, he was the only one who knew what was going on.
Right. Just think of it. Good. Blanket out. Deep breath. What comes up now?
Well, almost a feeling of resolve.
Mm-hmm.
That, yeah, I did everything I could do.
Mm-hmm.
Sam made the decision. It was a bad decision, but it was his decision.
Mm-hmm.
I did what I could.
That's right. Just stay with that. Good. Blanket out. Deep breath. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Now what happens when you bring up that event again? Think of the situation in the morgue. What comes up?
I start to get that anxious feeling again, but it's nowhere near as intense.
Mm-hmm.
And there's much more a feeling of sadness rather than guilt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that it happened, but it was really Sam's decision. I did what I could.
Okay. Now when you think of the image, where do you feel it in your body?
It's more dispersed. There's still that initial intense feeling in here,
Mm-hmm.
but then it started to relax a little bit.
Okay. So just think of the image, feel the feelings,
Okay.
and just follow. That's it. That's it. Good. Blanket out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
Just a general feeling. By that I mean I don't get the intense feeling that I had of either sadness or guilt. I picture myself viewing the body and starting to think about, well, how can we solve the case?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what would have been my normal reaction.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so just stay with that.
Okay.
Good. Blanket out. Deep breath.
I'm kind of getting a couple of different images that are flashing through.
Mm-hmm.
I started viewing Sam on the table again,
Mm-hmm.
and then going through another homicide,
Mm-hmm.
the one before that, and going through a couple of others that had, over the years that I'd worked on with different partners.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, I got this gut feeling that something else was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other feelings that had been coming up during the day, this feeling that something was wrong with my wife,
Mm-hmm.
that something was happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's one of these things like something that I can't control, something beyond my control, and what can I do about it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I get anxious again. Those other feelings are starting to come back.
Okay, now remember, it's the old stuff coming up, all right? So just notice where you're feeling it and follow. That's it. Good. Good. Just notice. That's it. Just notice. Good. Blanket out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
That sense of something happening to my wife is still there. But I started thinking about I started going through things that I can do to try and protect her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had gotten a job,
Mm-hmm.
you know, started thinking about that, the job that I had gotten near her,
Mm-hmm.
where she was the manager, just so I could be close to her, you know, in case something did happen.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think about that, I do get a sense of a feeling like I have taken some action.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that sense of guilt kind of goes away or lessens.
Mm-hmm.
And that feeling, that intense constriction, that kind of relaxes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel it as intensely, but I still get a sense of what can I do to totally protect her?
Okay.
You know what?
Okay.
I don't know. I kind of get that feeling over and over again. I kind of just stick on that spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, seeing something happening to her.
Okay. Where do you feel it now?
Again, kind of the feeling coming kind of up from my stomach. You know,
Okay.
just almost like a hollow, empty feeling.
Okay.
There, kind of.
All right. Now, if you go back to that incident in the morgue, just holding that in mind, what comes up for you?
The feelings start to come back. That sensation in my chest.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's kind of a feeling like I should be able to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I just keep thinking, keep getting that same feeling.
Okay, just notice the picture, notice the feeling, okay, and just follow.
Okay.
That's it. That's it, just notice. Good. Blanket out, deep breath. Good. What do you get now?
I still have that picture there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a sense that I should be able to do something, that this could happen at any time. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Sam's death was just out of the blue. I don't know. That feeling is just. I've got to do something.
Okay. Just notice where you're feeling it and follow. Good. Good. That's it. Blanket out. Deep breath. Good. What do you get now?
All of a sudden, I got a picture of my wife being in danger.
Mm-hmm.
That something was going to happen, and there was nothing I could do to prevent it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've got to do something. The feeling that it was almost that sensation intensifying.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, getting larger, becoming higher in my chest.
Okay. Okay, where's your wife right now?
Well, right now she'd probably be at work.
Okay. And when's the last time she consorted with criminals?
Well, none that I knew of.
Okay, just think of that. That's it. Just notice. That's it. Blank it out. Deep breath. Good. What do you get now?
Well, I'm getting a picture of her at work. Dropping in on her enough. I've got enough times to see her there. And I see her kind of working with the other people at the office. And it seems to be a normal day. I mean, things seem to be going normally. She's safe enough.
Just stay with that. Good. Good. Blank it out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
I feel more relaxed. I keep going over images of her working and then us at home. And yeah, things seem, she's safe. And things seem to be okay.
Great. Great. Just notice that. Good. Blank it out. Deep breath. What do you get?
Well, I kind of went from those feelings and those images of us being together and that feeling of, almost a feeling of comfort, us being together. I kind of jumped over to a couple other times I felt that way. The times at work where they had given me an award for all the cases that I worked on, for having the highest completion rate, on the force. And kind of the other times like that where working together, that we had solved a lot of cases, and a sense of satisfaction, feeling good about what had happened.
Great, great. Just notice it. Good. Blank it out. Deep breath. Good. What do you get now?
Kind of a sense that I was continuing on the same feelings and images of success and so forth. And then kind of looking back and saying, well, yeah, I guess I have done a good job. That I was there to solve these homicides, and we did.
Great.
Yeah.
Stay with that. Good. Blank it out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
Kind of back to my wife again, thinking about that. And kind of getting a little anxious again, the feeling of her being away. but it wasn't as intense.
Mhm.
I didn't feel, but I don't know, kind of feeling like, is she really safe?
Where do you feel it in your body?
Kind of like from here down and up to the shoulders, kind of feeling,
Mm-hmm.
crossing, and it's not as intense as those feelings when I was thinking about Sam initially, or when I first thought of her,
Mm-hmm.
you know, something bad. But it's kind of mixed with some warm feelings too.
Great. And has she been able to take care of herself pretty well?
Yeah, I mean, she has been working here part-time
Mm-hmm.
since the kids were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
She's been at it a number of years, and yeah, I mean, she tells me what happens there, and she's been able to take care of her own.
Okay, just think of that. Good. Blanket out, deep breath. What do you get now?
Well, I start getting a feeling of like, yeah, she's been able to do her job. I've done my job. Things have been going fine. She can take care of herself, and I guess I'm doing what I can.
Okay. So let's go back again, bring up that incident in the morgue. What do you get now?
I can see Sam there.
Mm-hmm.
Really no feelings that I had. Those intense
Mm-hmm.
feelings I don't feel at all anymore. Kind of a sense that, yeah, I did what I could do.
Okay. Just notice it. Good. Blanket out, deep breath. What do you get now?
Just a general sense of relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of almost a feeling that something's just drained out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Feel a lot more comfortable.
Great. And what happens when you bring up that image from the nightmare? Just hold that in mind. What do you get now?
Not much different. Still a certain sense of sadness that Sam's gone, but it's over.
Okay, just hold on. Good. Blanket out, deep breath. What do you get now?
I picture Sam there, and I know that in that situation, with what Sam had told me, what little bit that had been,
Mm-hmm.
that I had done what I could have done.
Mm-hmm.
That we were partners. We had done a lot of good work together. We had solved a lot of cases. And there was really nothing else with Sam's case that I could have done differently.
Mm-hmm.
That I made the right decisions.
Great. And what happens when you bring up the nightmare image? What do you get there?
a sense that I can almost, this may sound funny, but that I can finally maybe understand what Sam was trying to mouth in that, at that last moment, you know, right before I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought I had always been hearing him say fault. And I was thinking, you know, that he was saying, you know, accusing me that it was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
But now I get the feeling that no, maybe he was telling me that it wasn't my fault.
Great. Great.
You know, that I had done. He was kind of like letting me go, you know, saying that it wasn't my fault.
Okay. Just think of that. Good. Blanket out. Deep breath. What do you get now?
Well, in a way, a little bit of a sense of satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking of my wife and the good times that Sam and I had together.
It's great. It's great. So we go back to that original image, that original incident,
Mm-hmm.
and you think the words, I did the best I could. From 1 completely false to 7 completely true, how true does it feel?
Right now, I would say 6.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Hold the two together and just follow. Just think of it. Good. Blanket out, deep breath. Good. How does it feel now?
I definitely did the best I could. I did only what I could do with the information I had.
Great. Just think of that. Good. Blanket out. Great. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes, think of the event, and think the words, I did the best I could, exactly what you said, and then just scan down your body. See if there's any tension or any physical sensation anywhere. Let me know.
Okay.
How does it feel?
I feel relaxed. I don't feel any of that tension or uneasy feeling at all.
Great. Great. Okay. So keep in mind what we've done here is we started the processing going. So during the week, just take snapshots of anything that come up, anything that's disturbing, anything that's really good. Just, you don't have to write War and Peace about it, okay? Just put what day it is and what triggered it. You can happen to notice what made you feel either really good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
Any image that comes up,
Mm-hmm.
any belief that comes up, the way we did here, I'm not in control, whatever. The emotion, any sensation, and the level of disturbance. And that just puts all of the pieces together so that when you come back next time we can go over it. And if we need to, we just target whatever we need to just from the log. Okay?
Okay.
Right? And then make sure you use the self-control and stress technique, not only when you're bothered, but how about every day, just to kind of remind yourself that it's okay to stay relaxed.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm here if you need me. Just call.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Francine.
Sure.
What are your impressions of, or your feelings about this demonstration?
I think it gives the bare outlines of what EMDR can actually do. The stimulation of the information processing system for people brings out different awarenesses, connections, and insights, and you really have to have a real client there to get the full essence of it, but I think it demonstrated what we generally do.
How was this demonstration typical or representative of your clinical work, and how was it unrepresentative or atypical, if at all?
Well, we generally use 90-minute sessions because we want to make sure that we've processed as much material as possible and the client walks in better shape than they came in. So I kept the eye movements down to a bare minimum just to show when I would use them, but generally we were watching the person's face and using the nonverbal